What's going on, movie fans, and welcome back to my channel. Elliot here with a fresh out of the theater reaction to the new Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Is it worth checking out? Well, if you are a diehard, like this is your jam, this is your franchise, I think this is the film for you because I saw this with a loaded crowd full of Ghostbusters fans and they seem to have a good time. Now, for me, I left the Ghostbusters kind of fandom and love for the franchise like in my childhood. Like I appreciate the films, but I'm not like a diehard fan. And with that being said, there's a lot of nostalgia. It kind of takes up, it's kind of overwhelming. Like there are character references, there are Easter eggs, there are callbacks, there are inside jokes that, yes, I've seen all the films, but it's like, okay, can we just maybe get into the narrative a little bit more? Which I will say, this movie is funnier to me than the previous Ghostbusters film, which is Afterlife, but I prefer the emotional depth and the emotional resonance that that film had. So while this is funny, I thought the visual effects were really clean, and I thought the lore, while it was too much focus on the lore, there are some interesting things that comes from it. Again, a lot of callback, a lot of characters that are making a return. I think it boils down to, I like the new cast of characters, especially in Afterlife, but it felt like they were out of place in this film. And I think of like Finn Wolfhard, like he's literally in this movie and he's doing nothing. Mckenna Grace was the heart of the last film, and they give her like, they do what they did with Finn Wolfhard in the last one, when they make her like a 15-year-old that's kind of in her feelings, and they give her like this really interesting kind of romance with a ghost, and I'll just kind of leave it at there. That worked, but it felt like it was from a different movie. So that's what I'm kind of getting at. There are pieces to this film that don't entirely fit. Like this felt like I was watching an animated cartoon of the Ghostbusters, which I know there's an animated series based off that, and I wouldn't be surprised they took a lot of inspiration from that. And knowing that this is directed by a person that's been working primarily in animation, it feels like an animated film, and it feels more like a kid's movie than it does like a broad audience. Like, I think you can definitely take your kids to enjoy this, but for someone that's a little bit older and appreciate kind of the more horrific elements that are kind of sprinkled within the franchise, more so the very first Ghostbusters, and this film kind of plays with the darkness and the ghosts and dead, spirits and entities, but then it's like, no, let's hold back. This is a kid's movie, and I think that's where the film kind of suffers. It doesn't really know what it wants to be. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot, almost too many characters, and I like the old school characters. They were great. They're in it more than the previous one, but again, I don't know if the new cast and the old cast entirely work for me in this film. So with that being said, if you're a diehard fan, I don't have to tell you this, you're probably going to see it and you're probably going to have a good time. But if you're someone like me that appreciates the film, but it's not like my favorite franchise, then I thought the film was just okay. And then if you're brand new to the franchise, this is not for you, because again, it is nostalgia overload. There is so much going on that's callbacks in the previous film that you're probably not going to get certain references or certain jokes. So I thought it was okay. It looks good. There's funny moments. There's some cool visuals, but overall, just it's too much going on. It's like pockets of things that I like. There's certain groupings of characters that I like. There's certain storylines that work, but when you put it all together, it just doesn't mix well, just for me, but I'll give it a passing grade. So, hey, let me know if you plan on seeing Ghostbusters, The Frozen Empire, and when you saw it, let me know what you like, what you didn't like, and they open the door for more. I don't know if I want more of this. Like, just either stick with the new or just leave the past where it is. But let me know what you all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching this Out of Theater reaction. Check out more of my content available on my channel now. Consider subscribing and sticking around. You all are awesome, and I'll catch you all on the next video.
Yeah.